welcome to another edition of the Tax Talk. I'm your host, Oyinlola Sale. On today's edition of the program, our searchlight is on a very important topic that's worth discussing: evasion or avoidance of tax legal implications. Get set as we take you on an enlightening journey with our team of experts set to provide insight on this subject of concern. But first, let's kick off with the latest in business news.
This is business news. The Lagos State Internal Revenue Service (LIRS) has partnered DKK Nigeria to host a debate competition aimed at educating children on the importance of paying taxes. Speaking on the maiden edition of the Tax Tribe debate designed to instill a tax culture in secondary school students, Dr. Folashade Koka, the Director of Informal Sector and Special Duties at LIRS, expressed her delight with the initiative, emphasizing the importance of catching children at a young age. Reiterating that the initiative will help in cultivating the necessary habit and character traits that will benefit the students as they progress in their academic and professional careers. Dr. Koka submitted that the program's potential impact on the educational sector is particularly noteworthy, as it will not only enlighten the students but also engage their parents and teachers. Also speaking on the sidelines of the debate, Chief Operating Officer of DKK Nigeria, Bukola Somos, stressed that the Tax Tribe is a club created to instill tax culture in secondary school students. She maintained that the program is also aimed at raising better adults who are more consciously and socially aware of the right way to do things. She said, quote, "We think that a lot of us might have given them a wrong impression. We are trying to make Lagos State to own responsibility within Nigeria. The children here will go to other states so they will be able to leave Nigeria with a good name and a good reputation all round," end quote. The debate competition concluded with Ishola Damilola from Majidu Senior Grammar School Ikorodu emerging as the winner. Expressing her joy, Ms. Damilola said the competition had broadened her horizon on the need to pay taxes as a good citizen. And that's it on Business News.
I will make a start shortless business. They give am 150k to my friends. Let's do this. Taxes? I didn't even think about this. So I'll have to pay tax to build a house in Lagos. Maybe I should take a remote job. That way, I can avoid taxes. But wait, bloggers and content creators pay taxes too. So tax officials in Lagos monitor digital space for tax payment. Wait, why don't I start importing and exporting of phones and gadgets? Bro, how far now?
Femo, how far?
Bro, I won't join the business where they do.
Oh, smart. You just need money. I hope you have your tax clearance certificate.
Tax? Are you kidding me?
Without it, shishi, you no fit do. You have to visit the nearest tax office.
I can't believe it. There's no way out of this. I have to face my tax obligations if I want to start a life in Lagos.
Dear Lagosians, your taxes enable the government to invest in education, healthcare, security, housing, and many more. By continuing to pay your taxes, you are investing in a brighter future for all. This message is brought to you by the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS.
Thank you for staying connected to the Tax Talk. The fine line between tax avoidance and tax evasion has always been a point of contention. Tax avoidance involves using legal means to minimize tax liabilities, while tax evasion is a legal act of deliberately misrepresenting or concealing information to evade taxes. But where does the line blur, and what are the legal consequences? That's our focus today on The Big Story.
This is The Big Story. Lagos, the heartbeat of Nigeria's economy, pulses with resilience, innovation, and opportunity. Yet, beneath the city's vibrant surface lies a significant challenge that threatens its economic stability: tax evasion and avoidance. Tax evasion and avoidance are two sides of the same coin, each affecting the economy in profound ways. According to Investopedia, tax evasion is an illegal activity in which a person or entity deliberately avoids paying a true tax liability. In contrast, tax avoidance leverages legal methods to minimize the taxes owed, often through deductions, credits, or investment in tax-advantaged assets like public bonds. However, both actions deprive the government of vital revenue needed for the development of society over time. But what are the implications of tax evasion and avoidance on the economy?
Less revenue government has, the less developmental program it will be able to achieve within the time frame. So it does really impact negatively on the economy of the country and of the state. So there's no way citizens who fail to pay their tax as and when due will be said to have, violated the law and also fail in their civic responsibility to the state.
Why tax avoidance operates within the boundaries of the law? Both actions ultimately deprive the government of vital revenue needed for societal development. The implications are far-reaching, impacting public services and infrastructure. While tax avoidance utilizes legal means to minimize tax liabilities, evasion poses a significant threat to revenue collections effort.
If you have tax evasion, that it's not only unlawful, it is illegal if you evade tax as an adult working citizen. And people should know that for evading tax, it is not only unlawful, it is illegal. Unlawful because you have done a wrongful thing, and the tax authority have every right to pursue you to recover that tax by judicial means. It is illegal because it is also an offense, and the tax evader, if found, caught, prosecuted, is liable to go to jail. However, tax avoidance is not illegal, and tax avoidance is not unlawful. Every citizen, every taxpayer has a right to organize his life to ensure that the amount of tax paid is reduced to the barest minimum. That is why the law permits it. And I'll give you an example. People do donation, they do charity, so that is why the law allows tax avoidance. But it is evasion that the law frowns at and is punishable.
This distinction between evasion and avoidance becomes crucial amidst the rising working individuals. While legal tax avoidance still poses challenges for revenue collection, the Lagos Internal Revenue Service (LIRS) navigates this terrain with unwavering adherence to due process, ensuring fiscal integrity. Tax evasion and avoidance come at a steep cost, but through collaboration and innovation, the LIRS believes it can overcome this challenge and build a more prosperous and equitable society for generations to come.
We must continue to engage. Continuous engagement, continuous collaboration, and of course, desensitization. So the tax authority should not be, let's say, tired. They must continue to engage with the business sector. They must continue to engage with members of the public, because it is lack of knowledge, lack of education, and at times illiteracy that cause most often misunderstanding. And in the age of the social media that we have now, little false information, the way it's spread haywire. So what we should be doing is to do more of engagement, consultative engagement with the business sector. And I think with that, I can tell you there will be less problem in collection of tax, and people will be voluntarily complying with the tax law.
One of the most significant consequences of tax evasion is the loss of revenue. In countries like Nigeria, rampant tax evasion severely hinders the government's ability to provide public services and invest in development. Steadfast in its commitment to upholding the rule of law and ensuring every taxpayer fulfills their civic responsibility, the LIRS stands at the forefront of the battle against this menace. Through innovative strategies and robust enforcement, the LIRS is holding tax evaders accountable and promoting a culture of compliance.
I've always been an advocate of a tax system that commands voluntary compliance. When you have a tax system in place that commands voluntary compliance, that means the state government will spend less both in recovery and, of course, pursuing tax evaders, because more people will be voluntarily paying their tax. And the government also will spend less in enlightenment campaign, because every citizen will have known that it is my tax, it is my what we call responsibility to pay my tax. And I always give an example. A paper grinder, a seller, whose total income is just above the baseline, is paying 1 naira per month as tax. That person will feel self-fulfilled that I'm a good citizen. You that you pay 1,000 naira and the person paying 1 million naira per tax per month are all tax compliance. So to me, we must put them in place, and I think that's what we are doing. That even now, the LIRS, you have considered the comfort of your house, press button on your system, you have a tax assessment, and you can pay without having to go to the offices of the tax authority to effect payment or to have tax returns comply with and tax assessment to be done. That is part, and that's where we are going in Lagos State, to ensure that the tax system command what we call voluntary compliance.
What remains a heavy burden to the foremost Internal Revenue Agency, the LIRS, is the cost of compliance, which requires a substantial resources. In her bid, the LIRS has deployed personnel and technology to enforce tax laws rigorously while holding evaders accountable. While enforcement is crucial, that alone cannot uphold the integrity of the tax system. Education and outreach have become essential components of the LIRS strategy to promoting compliance. Engaging with taxpayers and providing them with the necessary knowledge and resources empowers the citizens to fulfill their civic duty. Meanwhile, there are no crimes without consequences.
The consequences are twofold. One to the government, and the other one to the tax evader, that is the defaulter himself. On the part of government, you will see that it will decrease the amount of revenue coming into the government coffers, because for you to have evaded to pay your tax, if everybody does that, of course the revenue to the government will reduce drastically, and the government will be unable to discharge its constitutional and other governmental responsibility to the optimal level if you want to, because the revenue base will have depleted, so to say. However, as regard the tax evader himself, part of the consequences is that yes, you may be, the tax authority have every right to pursue you to recover that tax. And if you do not have enough money in your account or with you to pay the tax authority have every right to distrain. That means you may lose your property, which may be sold to recover the tax. In addition to that, you may likely be prosecuted and may have to go to jail for evading tax.
The tax authorities are taking tax compliance very seriously. Examples of tax evasion include false declaration of income, making an incorrect return by omitting income liable to tax, overstating expenses to reduce taxable profit income, hiding away totally without any tax returns, failing to register with the relevant tax authority, giving incorrect information in relation to any matter or thing affecting liability to tax, and neglecting to pay tax. On the other hand, tax avoidance includes claiming deductions and credit, exploiting loopholes in the tax laws, prioritizing investment with tax advantages, minimizing non-deductible expenses, applying capital receipt in the acquisition of qualifying capital expenditure, avoiding outright default of tax provisions to eliminate payment of interest and penalties.
Now, when people are saying what government is also doing, in Lagos State, for example, you can see the Blue Rail, the Light Rail, the seaports, all the good things that this present administration is doing. It does not come cheap. But people will be happy when they see such innovations being extended to the nook and corner of the states. Then they will be able to comply with the tax law. To me, that is the best way to go about it. That we must continue to encourage our citizens to pay their taxes. There's no shortcut to it than to pay these taxes. And you also feel self-fulfillment in you. So when you are called upon, are you a responsible citizen? Yeah, payment of tax, there are two ways I look at it. You don't pay tax at all, or you pay and the tax authorities say you have not paid sufficient tax. So those are the two different ways that I've seen it. But payment of tax is a social responsibility apart from being a legal requirement of the law.
Compliance with tax laws is vital for a functioning tax system. By fighting tax evasion and managing tax avoidance, the LIRS aims to enhance revenue collection and ensure a more equitable distribution of wealth. The path to a prosperous Lagos is clear. Through robust enforcement, strategic education, and unwavering commitment to compliance, the LIRS is paving the way for a brighter future. In this journey, every taxpayer plays a crucial role in shaping the destiny of the Lagos city.
Hello, sir. Good evening. How may I assist you?
I made a reservation for a room. My name is Amodu.
Excellent, Mr. Amodu. A moment, please. You made a reservation for our deluxe suite for 2 nights. That will be 150,000 naira, sir. How would you like to make payment? Cash or card?
Card.
Okay. Thank you. Savings or current, sir?
Current.
Your PIN, please.
Thank you. You don't charge 5% consumption tax here.
No, sir. We don't do that.
Really? You're running a hospitality business and you're not charging 5% consumption tax?
No.
Hold on a minute. Hey, bro.
Alpha.
Yeah, I'm at an apartment in Ogba, and the receipt issued to me did not reflect the payment or deduction of consumption tax.
Oh, really? Thanks for the heads up. I will send a team to investigate.
I mean, they should be penalized.
Attention, all service apartment owners and operators in the hospitality business in Lagos State must charge and remit consumption tax to LIRS. Failure to comply is a contravention of the extant provisions in Section 9 of the HORC Law 2009, which attracts penalties as stipulated in Section 10 and 11 of the same law. Stay on the right side of the law.
Certainly, tax evasion is a serious criminal offense that can result in hefty fines and even imprisonment. If proven guilty, individuals or businesses may face penalties that far outweigh any perceived benefits of evading taxes. Let's take a break and we will be right back.
We said we're going to reconstruct completely this 18.75 kilometer road. And today, we're thankful to God because we have transformed from a 2-lane rural road to a 6-lane rigid concrete road with full complement of all of the road infrastructure, including street lights with drainage complements. And this, we can say, is one of the best roads that you can see in any part of this country. This is one of the best newly constructed rigid pavement roads that you can be proud of. And why so? It's because we believe you deserve it. Because we believe our citizens on this corridor deserves the very best. We cannot shortchange you. You don't deserve half measures. You deserve the very, very best and the best in class. And that's why we're happy that you are also happy with the retinue of our traditional institutions that are here, with the compliments of all our religious leaders that are here, with the compliments of all our community leaders, our political leaders that are here, that you have come to confirm and validate our decision to build this road. And because you know that we're a listening government, and the fact that you cry to us is not because you just want to be a complainer, because you believe we can do it. And you said to us, we should continue with the phase 2 of it. And you can see that the phase 2 also has started. And the phase 2 is not just reconstruction, it's also widening into 6 lanes.
It's still the tax talk. Now let's hit the streets for Voice on the Streets.
It's that time we head back on the street of Lagos for Voice on the Street on the Tax Talk. I still remain your host, Chibuzo, so stay tuned.
Tax evasion is when you know the amount you're meant to pay to the government, but you're trying to escape. You're running away from it. So that is the meaning of tax evasion. You know you're supposed to do something, but you're hiding.
People that run away from tax, as in people that don't want to be paying tax.
Tax evasion is like you not paying your tax, avoiding to pay your tax, people staying away from it, not paying their tax.
Tax evasion is the person that is working but don't bother to pay tax.
Tax evasion is people who are avoiding to pay tax.
It normally means when somebody deliberately not paying tax. It's what somebody know that don't want to do at all. That is just the meaning of tax evasion.
And it's a wrap on this episode, guys. I still remain Chibuzo. See you next week.
That concludes this enlightening episode of the Tax Talk. Stay informed and make sure you're always in the know when it comes to your tax responsibilities. Remember, staying informed is key to navigating the ever-evolving tax landscape. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, my name is Oyinlola Saleh. Bye for now.